So hello everyone, Myrmonden here. We get to my review of Black Clover episode 53. Not a great episode. I loved it. That was a great, episode all the way. One of the better episodes in my opinion. I mean, sure, we have some really revealing massive fight episodes, and they are truly amazing episodes. But overall, the episode had very little action, but it was really funny. It had some good revealing points. It had some backstory to Vangeance. It had some, Finral and his brother. So even so, Asta was good. So yeah, everything was great. So first of all, then the Charmy versus Sylp was really funny. That thing was clearly added, right? Typical, okay, we have an anime, and the anime adds out in the jokes. But here it really worked. Okay, it really worked here. So I'm really happy about that, because usually, I won't say usually, but the beginning of Black Clover, then it was pretty bad, right? Because then they had the jokes, and they used the one-dimensional jokes by Gauss, like, oh, sister, and then they used looped that like 3 times, and they kind of looped everyone's joke. And it felt pretty like, yeah, that wasn't that fun. That was the biggest issue they had in the beginning, definitely. They paced it out like that, and it wasn't very good. But here, this felt really funny. Yeah, this to me at least was funny all the way through. This was hilarious. I mean, I laughed all the way with that, with Sylp, and it was funny when first, right, she's like, with Asta, you slept together, you and this boy, he's your love, yeah, like that, someone, right, and she gets bleeding, and he's like, Howie, and she's calling out that. Then she's seeing, like, Charmy, he's like, I am 19, Onesha, so sexy, and it's like, she fights with her, and she tries to eat her, they kept doing that. Oh, that was great, right? That's probably like 1 or 2 pages in the manga, but that really worked, like adding some more content to that. Charmy chasing her with this with net and so on, all of that. That was really good. Also, that was one of the arguably the best filler jokes they ever did. I haven't read the manga. I haven't read the manga, but I assume that's very much a padding out filler joke. But that really was good, in my opinion. I think it was funny, really funny. Like it, all of it, both with Asta and Charmy. Yeah, all was really good. Anyway, so then that was great. That's what I was really happy with that. And then we had, I guess, Finral and his brother, primarily, and man, his brother is evil, right? And it's kind of my double thing here. So I'm gonna argue why I think Vangeance is Licht, right? It's gonna be later in the review. But I also argue that his brother to Finral, that guy is also really evil. That guy looks really evil. So I'm just like, okay, he's evil. He reminds me a lot of, like, you knew, right, in One Piece. It's like Black Justice, Dark Justice, like Black. So yeah, so it's like, I kill all the people, whatever. Like, they're in the path, yeah, they're in my way, yeah, so I kill them all. I have to slice through them all, yeah, who cares, right, yeah. He's doing that typical thing, right, like, whatever. One bad guy has to be killed, so yeah, I'm gonna do this thing, right. So, he has that thing going for him. But generally, I mean, later on he kind of laughs at and so on. So if it's one guy that's evil in Golden Dawn, that's him, right? But I think that both him and the captain are evil. But I would argue like this, though. The captain, I'll come to that later, but he's probably Lich. Assume he's Lich for now, he's Lich. And, but I think the brother, he's kind of like really similar, again, to Akira in the sense that he's ethics and morale, I'm just a guess now, but I think he's probably think himself as good, even later on when he probably will have to kill people. So it's like, I'm doing it for the good, right? I'm doing it for, the humanity, or the society, or the country, or I think he's gonna have definitely some point for he's gonna fight Finral, maybe someone else, and so on, and he's probably still gonna be like, well, I am the good side, yeah, so I think he's gonna believe he's good. Similar, again, right, to some of the Marines and One Piece. He's gonna believe that I am doing it for the righteous, yeah. What is the right thing to do here? I have the moralic standpoint here. That's probably how he sees it. I read, right, even though it's completely evil, yeah. Yeah, but he thinks himself is good. And that's a difference, though, because, I mean, I might be wrong, but always the difference between people that are evil and actually like, yeah, I'm evil, and ravishing evil. He's more like, I am the good one. He's more like that, right? Like, oh, I am right. Yeah, I was wrong. He's more like that, right? So, but as so far at least. But that being said, I felt it last week too. But I feel, to me, it feels like Finral could be stronger than him. I'm not saying that because he's like one of the main character's friends. Of course, he's gonna be stronger than him eventually, probably, right, because of narration. But it feels like his powers are like, they have like the same power almost, right? So his brother, we haven't seen it enough yet, I suppose, but it's pretty clear that that's with 2, he can send some waves, he can, like split reality, cut it in reality. So it's like spatial magic, right? As you mentioned, of course, the slime guy. But Finral has of course time magic, the time and space, right? Or sorry, time. He is like spatial door magic instead of typical. I mean, usually you control like spatial or time and magic, something like that. But he controls kind of the doors instead, kind of the paths of passages, and he controls like the exits of it. But I cannot see why Finral can his spatial magic to divide stuff, right? So I mentioned the last thing too. So I feel like both of them can do the same. Yeah, like why can't he open up doors? His spatial is only cutting stuff in between. Finral cutting stuff and. But I think he should splash people. I don't know. I feel like Finral should be able to do the same thing pretty much, but also better because he can also like door open it and probably split eventually, right? And maybe use some time power because it's typical. It's probably split there, but I mean generally, very typically you have like spatial and time there, like time and space, like in Naruto, like time and space. Then it's typical how they can combine, right? Like with the whole. I'll not spoil Naruto, but come on, Naruto's been done for a while now. Kind of how the whole. Maniki Sharingan and so on, right? They have both like spatial time and space, right? It's typical that those powers are connected. So I could see how Finral might unlock that or how they can use it and so on. Whatever. All speculation. But I feel he definitely can overcome his brother, I feel, one-on-one well, right? That being said, the episode was great. How they used like, oh, you're gonna fight? You don't know. Let's see this, brother. It's like, show me, Asta. It's like it's prepared, like yeah. I was like, yeah, fluffy. It's like the wrestling move and it teleports him, and there's the Sora thing. He has the blade in his mouth and he cuts it open. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I love that. That thing was great. They're very, very prepared teammates. Then of course Finral says that I might be weaker than you, but the Black Bulls are stronger than you. Yeah, like we together as a team, as Nakamas, be better, and you guys are weaklings. One-on-one you're strong, but you can't combine these powers. So that is true, of course, because they typically, and I like that, typical underdog story, right? The best opponents to have, the biggest rivals to have, of course, they're all they're very strong on their own souls, right? They're very strong, they're very, very strong in their own personal power gain, but can't cooperate because they're all like, yeah, I'm this pressed guy, yeah, so they can't really, communicate with their friends, right, or their teammates. Typically, yeah. Where the underdogs are like, we have to band together and be strong as one, yeah, so of course we get better teamwork, so it all makes sense. So that was great as well. Anyway, let's get to the masking then. So we see Vangeance's backstory, somewhat, and I mean, I guess he's supposed to be sad, he's supposed to feel for that guy and so on, but, and maybe I put it wrong, maybe he's a good guy and so on, right, and Yami's like, he's a good guy, he's fighting for the right stuff and so on, but it's like, when you see his backstory, I'm sitting there like, it's probably all lies. Probably all lies. My mother punched me in the face, but it's all lies. Like, no, it can't be true. That's why I'm reacting to it. I'm like, no, this guy's, it's all lies. It's all mirrors and yeah. So he mentioned how he's like some outcast, got adopted, right? Because he has great tree magic, the world tree magic. And his like adopted mother would punch him and belittle him and so on, right? From her friends, because he's like ugly with his face thing, right? And so on like that. So, yeah, a bit of bad upbringing. And I guess it's all true, though. Given that he eventually mentioned that King Julius, took him in. He's like, oh, free medic, boy, free medic. It's like, oh, yeah, he comes like that, right? He's kind of a weird guy. He's like, oh, young shonen, you can do this thing. Show me your tree. Yeah, it's like that can't be a misinterpreted at all. Anyway, yeah, so King Julius comes, gives him the mask. Since he made the mask even, it's like my best work. Yeah. So all of that has to be true, I feel, because I think he could lie about his backstory generally to Yami, right? Like his whole, upbringing and so on. But when they brought in King Julius, like Yami could of course go and ask King Julius, like, did that true? Does that happen? Like, yeah. So they probably, and we can all assume that maybe Lich or whatever could like, some memory magic probably existed in Black Clover, right? But I want to assume that King Julius, being the king and all, should be not immune, but he should be kind of hard to like mine his like memory magic. That guy should be really hard. I feel that should be hard. I mean, they already mentioned that he kind of control its mind and so on. Like you can ask them and so on. Right? So we know they have some kind of mental magic thing. So it's possible he has just like completely control his mind. It's very possible, but I don't think so. It would be. It might be that, but I feel that's kind of lame if you can use, even the king could be controlled like that, because he's supposed to be the king, right? He's to be strongest. So hopefully that's the place, but I guess that could be it. But what I think instead, which I feel, because how Yami kind of talked about, like he has the same key, he has the same body shape, the same face, even at the mask, it's even more similar because how the neck and everything. I think they are the same person, right? I think they are the same person. He doesn't know he's evil. That is my take on it. So I think it's the same person. Don't comment see if I'm right or wrong or not. Don't spoil, please. But I feel pretty confident in that. I don't say overconfident, but I think this is very likely, right? Maybe because I've seen something similar. I've seen Buffy. The first thing was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But yeah, I have seen that in other stuff before, the shows before, right? Where there's a bad guy living inside of someone and they don't even know about it. Yeah. Like someone turning into a werewolf or whatever, right? In that kind of context. And they don't know that they even turn into a werewolf, and afterwards just wake up in their bed and like, oh yeah, something happened or whatever. Yeah, and they're like, oh, some blood on my hand? Nah, probably something. It's probably fine, yeah. That kind of thing, right? And that's kind of how I interpreted him, because Yaman is like, same face, same body, same key, but I can read his key and he's not lying to me. So what that means is that he's probably not changing his body on purpose, right? Because he couldn't lie about it. Maybe he can do it on purpose and he doesn't remember anything that Licht does. So he's like, I'm not doing light stuff. But yeah, it's kind of true. But I feel that if Yami can really read people's lying or not key thing, that would probably be hard to lie about. Like, no, I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it. Like, really? Yeah, that would be kind of a tricky thing. So I think it's more likely that he doesn't know he's evil. Like, he turns into Licht. Maybe because he's like a reincarnated version of Licht, something like that. He's a reincarnated version of the Licht that died, something like that, in the attack. Someone kind of, like put his soul inside of him. As a kid, maybe he's reincarnated, something like that. I think he's carrying Licht's soul. They can also play for example Fana. Didn't look like a Vito at all, but he also is probably one of the mana-born people, right? Of course, it could be related to Licht, otherwise it could be his son, something like that. But I think it could be that as well. He could be related to Licht. It could be his son, brother, grandchildren, like his great-grandkid. But if they're just so exactly copies of each other, I feel more for that theory that it's like, it probably is him. He just doesn't know it. Yeah, it's probably like when he goes to sleep, he turns into Licht. And then Licht, does his stuff and so on, and then he wakes up then Licht always makes sure to be like somewhere where he would be. And he wakes up and he's like, oh, I probably didn't do anything bad. And he kind of and he probably goes around having guilt feelings over it. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing at nights, but I'm probably the good guy. So he's like, yeah. And he says to himself, he thinks I am the midnight light leader, but I am not. And he might actually truly think that, but at the same time, he might suspect that he is somehow. So I feel something like that, yeah. That being said, though, if Finral's brother is evil, which is very likely is, he might know, right? He might be the trigger, right? He also be that, yeah, it could be some trigger, right? It could be definitely be that you can trigger him. Like if you do some code word or something, Licht might, force take, yeah, that I can see happening too. That if the brother to Finral, the vice captain, if he's pure evil, he might know some kind of, secret code, right? That if he tests the Vangeance turns into Licht, right, purposely, right away, and then, Vangeance doesn't remember anything. Actually happening too. They have different magics, because different, different soul is controlling the body, different magic happens. Something like that. I mean, generally, that it has this burn thing here, and Licht has the third eye thing. I mean, come on, this is it has to be something more. There's been, his great grandchild, something. Come on, he has to have. Why is that necessarily where the third eye is? If you just had a mask on, and didn't actually have any under mask, I would be kind of like that. Actually, would be less suspicious. But now it has like this particular weird burn pattern, just where that third eye is supposed to be. It's like, man, there has to be a reason why his face is hiding something, hiding something, right? Why is his forehead hiding something from his skin there? It's supposed to, maybe when he turns, his third eye pops out. We can awaken that third eye, right? And then when it awakens, the burning mask goes away, he turns into Licht, and Vangeance's memory or soul is like removed for a while. Something like that, right? So I think it's probably something, Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing. I think it was, but he probably doesn't know himself. He probably suspects himself to be evil, and is trying to fix it probably by himself. So I think that's probably going to be a storyline later on. I mean, I guess mainly Yam is going to try to be like, well, you have to, fight your evil self or something, and maybe they can split or something. I don't know. I think that's how it is. I think that's how it is. It's probably the same body. I mean, I've seen all this stuff as well. I've seen all the shows earlier where, yeah, it's kind of like the weirdo thing as I mentioned. Generally, yeah, that general feeling, right? Where it's a human, turns into a werewolf, and when you wake up again, you're back in your bed, it's like, oh, something happened, I guess. Yeah. Probably something like that. Anyway, hope that's review. Yeah, one last thing though. I feel I was kind of right with the last review. We're talking about the generals. How these generals probably like the weakest general, the kind of blitz stuff, and they're like, oh, number 8 to 5, they're really weak. But then the number 1 to 4. Yeah. And that seems to be how it is, right? Because the other generals, these shiny mage generals, they're like, yeah, those guys were weaklings. We are the real generals. Yeah, it's kind of how they really, yeah, that is straight up how it seems, right? Yeah. It feels very Bleach when we saw the generals in the last second there. We see the Marsh and the other generals, right? And they're all like, yeah, those weaklings, they were good for scouting. No, let's fight for real, right? Yeah, so they're very much like, we the real guys. So, yeah, I feel I was kind of correct on that. I mean, I was guessing that they were gonna be like, yeah, they're gonna have different ranks in the general ranks, right? So they have different generals, and some of them are weak and other ones, right? Of course, the push over generals. That being said, my theory generally, when you mentioned that we are the new kind of better generals, I think that they're all like Marsh. That'd be a cool team. That's probably how it is. I mean, I hope it is, but I feel more confident on than the Licht team. That it's probably gonna be 2 books, right, per person. That I guess so, right. Marsh has 2 books, right. They can use both 2 different magics, so fire and but he has his crystal magic and found fire magic, I guess. But yeah, so I guess that all of them are gonna have like a double grimoire thing where they can use like different spells, right, and 2 different tools probably. And that's why they're all like, yeah, we are the better generals. We are the improved generals. They have like the advanced skill set of using 2 spells. That's probably how it is. That's my guess. And that I think is very, very likely. Very, very likely. We've already seen Marsh using that. That's the unique thing with him so far. But I can't see why they would have more of that. Why would he be the first like prototype double mage guy? I don't know. I think that all the generals that have that rank probably have like double spells. That's why they are generals, right? That's why they're the better generals. That to me seems extremely likely. This. Anyway, hope you like this review. Please share, like button, so on. Today we're going to talk ghouls after this. And the Rub of the Wind, and the Weird Yansao, and then not Tonigava, but the other, like, not Tonigava, but, oh yeah, Conception too. Conception, yeah. Pregnant Fell Maiden, that's an awesome anime. So anyway, stay tuned to the channel. That anime looks really weird. Conception, yeah, that's, whoa.